Boy, does it feel great to be back. Welcome to the brand new channel, the Best Damn EDC. I decided to create this channel because I wanted to bring the EDC Weekly back in full force, not some disjointed, crippled version of what I made before. I wanted the old thing to be back, and it feels so good to be getting these submissions, going through them, picking some of my favorites, and sharing them with you. So thank you guys for keeping this going and helping me bring it back. I do want to say that there will be other content on this channel other than just the EDC Weekly, but I did want to break it out from mod so that it wouldn't take over the channel again, and I could continue to do my outdoor stuff there, the trailer, renovation, and everything I'm going to do there, and not completely litter the video feed with EDC stuff, which is not what everybody there cares about. So this is your new home, my new home, Best Damn EDC. So rather than just rambling forever, this is the EDC Weekly. So before we get started, I do want to say that if you think you've got a better EDC that you want to share, or if you've got one that's heavily themed, or something that you've taken a lot of care into putting together, or maybe even money, or just something that's very special to you and you've got a story behind it, I encourage you to share it with me. Go to edcm.co or edcw.co, EDC Weekly. See what I did there? I had to change the URL because I changed the whole entire thing. So now I have two URLs and they both work. They are not going to change. They'll both work from here forward, but edcw.co is the one that I will mainly be promoting. So edcw.co, go there, submit, fill out the form, and if I like it, I'll feature it in a future video. One of the first submissions I received when I started opening the submissions back up was Rick Nijman. You can find him on Instagram at Budget Everyday Carry. You can see how that's spelled specifically here with all the underscores. But you can go there, check out his EDC stuff that he posts, and it's really nice. And this is a really nice, very compact, very minimal EDC. And first up, we have the Uzu Timepiece watch. He says he likes this because Uzu makes quality watches for a budget price. And then next to that, you also see the Lai Adams or Lai9, L-A-I-X. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, B007. That's the pin there that he uses. He also has a leather card holder, doesn't name the brand, but he says he got it from his dad. Then he has the Toe Knife Squirrel, which is the fixed blade neck knife you see in the center of the photo. He has the Punisher pry bar, and then finally the Factor Hardened knife. So there's not a ton here, but it's put together very well, and I like some of the stuff he's got here, especially that toe knife. I wouldn't necessarily carry a neck knife myself, but I like the way it looks. It's very, very nice, and it could be something that maybe you could adapt into like a boot knife, or even just something you carry on your belt. It'd be something like that that I would carry with me camping or backpacking. It's small, but it's still very, very useful. And it's not very expensive, it's only about $20. About the pen, Rick says, I use it every day to write stuff, but I mainly bought it because it won't break on me at work like normal pens do. For the neck knife, I mainly use it for things that might get my main knife dirty because it's way easier to clean than a ball-bearing knife. The Punisher pry bar I use almost every day at work to pull nails and staples out of the wood I need to work with because those nails damage my tools. And the Factor Hardened knife, it's my main knife I got as a gift from a good friend from Instagram. It's the Factor Hardened, which is a great knife that runs on ball bearings, so it's super smooth and fun to play with. I use it mostly for opening packages, cutting up boxes, and cutting up my fruit. And that's something I can't really relate to. I carry a bunch of knives, but I never end up cutting up my fruit with them. I don't know, it kind of weirds me out that I use my knife to cut all these other things, and it feels like it's maybe a little unsanitary, but I see a lot of people doing it. So, I don't know, what's your thought on that? Do you use your pocket knife to cut up food? I've always felt kind of weird about it. Anyway, thank you for sharing, Rick. I love this EDC, and you are now entered to win a $50 Amazon gift card at the end of the month. I didn't mention this earlier, but the theme of this particular EDC Weekly is very nice leather goods. There are a lot here. The last one I'm saving because the guy went ham on a particular leather good, but still the second one has a lot of leather elements, and it comes from Isaac Almejo-Ponce. You can find him on Instagram at Birdmock. I think that's right. First up here for the wallet, we have the Andar Baron dark brown leather money clip. He also has a fossil quartz Aviator chronograph, which he says he doesn't know the exact model of. I looked and I couldn't find it. He also carries the Parker stainless steel jotter, a Leatherman skeletal. He also carries a mod style orbit key, Ray-Ban Clubmaster Classic sunglasses, and he uses Apple AirPods. He doesn't give us any information about the notebook, but it is a leather-bound notebook for taking notes. And then he also carries an iPhone 10, which he said he used to take the photo. I just have to say, I really missed seeing other people take some of the DIY projects I had back in the day and incorporate them into their EDCs. I didn't realize how much I missed that until just a little bit earlier today when I was going through some of the submissions and choosing them. And that's one of the reasons I chose this and decided to do a leather one, is because I used to do a lot of leather projects and I miss that, and I miss seeing you guys feature some of the stuff I made in your EDCs. It just made me feel like we had this tight-knit community, and I would really like to get that back. Anyway, Isaac says, I'm currently a high school student in Wyoming and have been a follower of mod for a while, and this is my simple EDC. As a striving minimalist, I can relate. I want to be a minimalist, but I am not. I'm trying. I try to keep my carry as streamlined as possible, only adding the things I need. The Endar Baron is great for my needs for carrying a few cards with a little bit of cash in the clip between. I love watches, especially leather, anything from Timex to Omega. This Fossil Aviator Chronograph was one of my first watches I bought over $100 and has become a staple in my small collection ever since. I also recently bought a watch. I didn't include it in the EDC that I did earlier this week, but this is the Timex Expedition Field Chronograph. I love it. It scratched on the first day and that kind of pisses me off, but I love this watch. I've been a smartwatch user for a very long time, so going back to an old analog watch, I also carried this, the Casio Pathfinder PAG 240. Love this watch, but man, there's just something about this watch and the chronograph that I really like. As for my keys, I used to carry a key ring with all my keys attached, and the jingle and bulk it added bothered me. So it was time to look for a change. I looked for a few options, and the Bellroy and Orbit key seemed to have the best key organizers. The price was baffling, so I consulted to YouTube to see if I could find some cheaper DIY alternatives. Lo and behold, your mini mod for an Orbit key was a great alternative, and have never regretted making it. Thank you. Sunglasses are a must in our cloudless summers in Wyoming. I just visited Wyoming for the first time, and yes, that is big sky country for a reason. It's awesome, but anyway, I keep getting sidetracked. So I opted for some classic Clubmasters from Ray-Ban. The Steel Parker pen was a gift from a good friend, and I use it every day for notes and ideas that come to mind. Lastly, a notebook is standard in my EDC. Anything from writing down ideas or taking notes from podcasts or books. This leather-bound notebook is very nice and adds a bit of fanciness to my EDC, but I will soon transfer to a simpler moleskin that's a lot easier to handle than this chunky one. I can't wait to see what you have in store for the future. You are doing great. Thank you, Isaac. Those words mean a lot, and thank you for sharing this EDC. I love it, and honestly, it's inspiration for me to be a little more minimalistic. I try so hard, and I am so bad at it. That's all I have. But thank you again, Isaac, for sharing. Love this EDC, and you are also entered in to win a $50 Amazon gift card at the end of this month. Okay, the final EDC this week has all the leather, all of it. It comes from Hector Negrete, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. You can find him on Instagram at viking.funeral. And he's shared before. I don't know if he's actually been featured before, but I've definitely seen his submissions in my hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lines of spreadsheets. I gotta find a better solution for this. Anyway, first up for Hector is a Samsung Gear S2 with a watch strap adapter. On that watch adapter, he has a Popov leather 20mm driftwood leather watch strap. And you're probably going to notice a bit of a theme here. Beside that, he has a Popov driftwood leather Field Notes cover, and then inside that is a Field Notes notebook. The pen of choice here is a Parker Jotter pen with a black gel ink insert. He has a brown leather HK clip keychain, which is very much like the minimalist keychain that I made back in the day. His multi-tool of choice is a Gerber dime, and then he also has a generic black size 10 ring. The earbud you see there is the ZNT N1 Mini, and then he has a Fisher Space Pen bullet in matte black with a clip. He carries a Leatherman PST multi-tool, and he carries the Space Pen and the Leatherman in the Popov leather EDC armor in driftwood. Besides that, you see the Popov leather 5-card driftwood leather minimal wallet. And then he also has the LG G4 for his phone, and on the back of that, he has the brown leather back. His flashlight of choice here is the Streamlight Stylus Pro, and then he has a Phoenix Hanks Ghouls and Bats handkerchief. That's a lot to unpack, and a lot of Popov leather, but I should say that it's just a testament to the quality of Popov leather. I'm not paid to say that. I'm not an affiliate with Popov leather. I just like his stuff. I bought his stuff long before I ever reviewed anything of his. I bought a wallet, I bought a passport holder, and I've bought stuff since then and gifted things of his to other people. It's just high quality stuff and I like it a lot. Hector says, I wanted to be ready for whatever little event pops up in life, and having a pen or knife ready gives me satisfaction. It's a work in progress. I tend to switch things around, but I'm trying driftwood leather and brown leather look with my EDC. If you'd like to know more, I'd be glad to answer any questions. Thank you, Hector, but it's a little too late for that. I didn't read that line until just now. But I don't have any questions. I think this speaks for itself. You've done a lot of work and spent quite a bit of money getting that driftwood leather theme to your EDC, and I love it. I wish that I could put together an EDC that was themed like that, but I'm just too stuck on some of the things that I like more. For instance, I like having a specific knife, and getting a knife because it matches my theme just isn't something that I want to do. So I struggle with that. I want to have a themed EDC, but I don't know that it's ever going to happen. So there is that. Anyway, I applaud you, Hector, and anybody else that does put together a themed EDC. I envy you. Thank you, Hector. You're an inspiration, and you were also entered into the $50 Amazon gift card giveaway at the end of this month. And if you would like to win a $50 Amazon gift card, go to edcw.co or edcm.co, but edcw.co, not to be confusing, and submit your EDC. You don't have to be featured in the EDC Weekly to be entered into the giveaway. That's a random giveaway. I'm going to enter everybody who submits for the month into the giveaway and put them in a random number generator, select the number, line that up with their number in the submission field. I will randomize everything. Whoever wins, wins. You get $50 to spend on Amazon, presumably for better EDC gear or new EDC gear, really however you want to spend it. So if you want in on that, go to edcw.co and submit, and maybe you'll be featured as a bonus. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for submitting, and thank you for subscribing. We hit 1,200 subscribers in the first 24 hours, I believe. So thank you very, very much. Let's grow that number to be much, much larger, and let's turn this back into the community it should have been long ago before I decided, very poorly, mind you, to kill the EDC Weekly. It's back, and I hope to do this in full force. So I'll see you guys next week. If you want to follow the channel, you can find us here on YouTube. Obviously, there's no channel URL yet, but subscribe and hit the bell notification. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestdamnedc. That'll all be linked down below in the description. So thank you once again, and until next time, I don't have a sign off. So I just realized I don't have an outro. Or an intro, for that matter. I've done all this so unprepared. But anyway, I'll see you guys next week, and until then, keep on knolling. Does anybody actually know what knolling is? It's the act of spreading things out, laying them out like we do in our EDC pictures. That's knolling. So keep on knolling.